Hello friends, are you ready for a twin baby update? I'm out in my garage because the boys brought in all the baby boy clothes that we own. It pretty much took up half of our shed. I think there's 10 bins here. I decided I need to go through those before I can start thinking about girl clothes because I'm sure there's some things in there that will be fine and we can reuse. The rest I will be donating to a good cause. If it's just really gross after having 4 boys, I will also maybe be throwing stuff away. I'm not gonna give people really gross things, but I don't think I kept gross things. Let me back up a little bit so you can see my bump. I am 15 weeks, 3 days while I'm filming this. This is probably not the best place here. Maybe the garage door is ugly, but it'll probably give us a better view. So 15 weeks, 3 days. Let me tell you what's going on in my pregnancy right now. I have not been to the doctor since 11 weeks. So I have 2 doctor's appointments this week. Let me find somewhere to sit down and I'll tell you about it. Got my drink here, some electrolytes. I'm gonna start going through stuff, but in case you say I look tired, sometimes people tell me I look tired in these videos. I just woke up from a nap. That's probably why I look tired. It takes me a really long time to not feel groggy after taking a nap, but I do take 4 to 5 naps a week. There's usually 1 or 2 days where I can't fit in a nap. Otherwise, I nap. I have needed so much more rest this pregnancy. It's probably my biggest thing, just getting really tired, especially if I do a bunch of different activities like going to the gym and going shopping at Costco. Definitely have to take a nap after that. So today I took a nice nap. I'm still waking up from that, but I want to tackle some of these boxes. And yes, I am a little bit out of breath. I just ran up and down the stairs 3 times getting all my stuff together. And these babies are starting to, I can definitely tell that I just have less room for my lungs to expand. So other than being tired and feeling nauseous, mostly in the mornings and when I lay down to go to bed at night now, sometimes during the day still, but mostly in the morning at night, I'm trying to use the energy I have in the middle of the day and not feeling sick to get as many things done as I can. So, my doctor called me about 3 weeks ago and told me that she had been looking over my chart and she got a second opinion. So if you've missed it, my babies, the twins, are Mo-Dai twins, meaning they each have their own sac, but they are identical twins and they share a placenta. Now you can get what is called twin-to-twin transfusion with that, where one twin is getting more blood and nutrients than the other, and it can be really dangerous. So because of that, you probably should have more ultrasounds and more care, and that is done with a high-risk doctor. So she got a second opinion and she said, you know, we really need to be watching you more carefully, just in case something happens, because there are things that they can do to help with that. So this week, I am going to my regular doctor. That will just be a regular appointment. They will listen to the heartbeats, which for twins is done with an ultrasound. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to know which baby you're listening to. So we will do just a quick ultrasound and discuss anything else. And then I will be meeting with my high-risk doctor on Thursday. And we'll see where we go from there. I will finish this video out by telling you what happens at the high-risk doctor. That's my plan, because I don't want to leave you hanging. And I am so anxious to know too what he's gonna say, if he's gonna want me to come in, how often he's gonna want me to come in. Honestly, the seeing the babies more often will just give me peace of mind, because it's been 4 weeks since I've seen the babies, and that feels like a long time. Just with having the twins, I don't ever remember feeling that when I just had my boys. Like, I remember being excited to see them again and hear their heartbeat, but it just feels like, oh, I just hope they're both okay in there. I don't know. Does that make sense? Just feeling like I need a little bit more reassurance this time around. Otherwise, I don't think I have really felt the babies move yet. Every once in a while, I think I feel baby A over on this side, but then again, it could just be, you know, things moving around in there or gas or something. So going to the high risk doctor, I feel really good about that. I did ask my doctor, I said, has anything changed over on your end? She said, no, we just really want a better course of action to help you if something does go wrong, which I totally feel good about that. I'm glad that that's available. So that is where we are at pregnancy wise. I've been able to keep doing everything that I normally do. I'm still editing videos, maybe just a little bit slower. I've been going to the gym a few times a week, not every day by any means. I can get there maybe 2 or 3 times a week. The boys are in school, been running them to their different activities. So we are doing well. Yeah, 15 weeks in. So this bin I'm going through is just a lot of like blankets, which totally can reuse blankets. No problem doing that. I have not made it to any clothes yet. But lots of little blankets, burp cloths. Definitely can reuse these. While I'm unloading this stuff, I am going to answer some questions that you guys have been asking since finding out that we are having twins. Question number 1 that we've gotten several times is, are we going to move into a bigger house? No, we have no plans to ever move if we can help it. So I have an office that I set up. We have 2 boys in one bedroom, 2 boys in another bedroom, and then we have an office that I set up maybe like a year and a half ago, and have really loved it. It's right near my bedroom, so it's very easy to stay in the main part of the house where I'm cooking and cleaning and get some work done. But that will become the baby girl's room, and so I will be moving back to my old office. Now, the reason why I had a hard time with my old office is it connects to our Airbnb apartment, and I can hear people in the Airbnb, and if I can hear them, I always think, oh, they can hear me. If it's not an office, we don't usually use that room very often. It's where I do my freeze drying, so that's just white noise and doesn't bother people. And if my parents are in the apartment, they don't hear anything. It doesn't matter. They're fine. If if I'm working in there or recording in there, like, they could care less. So right after finding out that we were having twins, Mark and I actually went on and closed off our Airbnb. We just thought, you know what? That is one thing that we don't have to do, that we could say no. So we closed it off starting in November of this year. We did already have some reservations up until November. We just closed it off indefinitely until the babies come, and then we can figure out what we want to do. It's only a winter thing for us. So we closed it off so that my parents could come back and help when the babies are here, or just come see the babies. They would have a place to stay, because especially now that we'll have twins, we will not have any guest bedrooms or beds available. So we are closing our Airbnb. That is a big change, but we feel really good about it. It's just one more thing that I would have to worry about, cleaning the Airbnb while pregnant. We could hire somebody, but I really just want to have that space available for people that want to come and see the babies, help with the babies. That will become our spare bedroom for the foreseeable future. We will reassess when the babies are probably, 1 or a year old. We'll think about it. We'll see what we feel like doing. But for right now, the Airbnb is closed. So that is one change that we're making. Okay, made it through box 1. Got some stuff that I'd forgotten about. Lots of little warm suits, definitely keeping these around. Look how cute this little tassel is on the top. Always need things to bundle babies up in. Bunch of swaddles, that doesn't matter, boy or girl. So 1 down, 9 to go. I thought that I would tell you the boy's birth story, starting with Hunter. This little hat, I remember putting Hunter in this when he was newborn. So we'll start with Hunter. I was 39 weeks pregnant. I was a school teacher, went in for a doctor's appointment before school, and they checked me. Everything was fine, nothing was happening, but something happened in that check that I got to school, took my kids to the computer lab, and I was like, this cramping feels different. So by the end of the day, I had just been consistently having cramps, nothing like that I couldn't just breathe through, not close together, but I just thought, I don't know if I'm gonna be at school tomorrow. Told the front office, can you get my sub to come in early? I think that the baby might be on its way. I wanna at least be able to go to the doctor tomorrow. If not, so they got me a sub, and the contractions got stronger and stronger, and he was born about 7:30 the next morning. So that was Hunter's birth story. It was beautiful. Vaginal birth. I do epidurals. I had watched both my sisters give birth and just decided that I wanted to have an epidural. Everybody gets to make their own choices with that. That is what worked for me. Next son is Bennett, and his birth was completely different. What does this say? 4T. Okay. His birth was completely different. At about 34 weeks pregnant with Bennett, Hunter and Bennett were supposed to be like exactly 2 years apart. But at 34 weeks, I went into the doctor to get a routine checkup, had Hunter with me. He would have been like, 22 months old, 23 months old. And Bennett's heart rate was out of control. I think it was somewhere in the 200s, just out of control. She said, did you drink a bunch of coffee this morning? I was like, I don't drink coffee. So they kept me for extra testing, like for a couple hours. Finally, they said, we're gonna send you up to a neonatal specialist to get checked out because the heart rate is not coming down. At that point, I was finally able to get a hold of my dad. Mark was in board meetings at a new promotion that he had just gotten, so it was really hard for him to leave. He could have if he needed to, but my dad was available. He came and picked up Hunter, and then I headed upstairs to the neonatal specialist. They did an ultrasound. His heart was going crazy. They said it was starting to get enlarged, so they admitted me to the hospital right then and there and started me on heart medication, trying to get Bennett's heart rate down. And so after work, Mark came to the hospital. My parents watched Hunter. Mark did go home that night. I was monitored all night. I just remember it being one of the most uncomfortable nights of my life because his heart rate was so high. They had a really hard time keeping track of it. So every 10 minutes, a new nurse was coming in trying to find his heart rate so they could keep track of it. The next morning, the high-risk doctor came in and said, we are going to do another ultrasound this morning, see if these medicines are helping. And he started they did the ultrasound, and it was a new ultrasound machine. So after the ultrasound tech did her job, the doctor said, I want to play around with this brand new machine. So he starts looking around, and he started to see fluid getting around the organs of Bennett. So he said, book the next OR. We are going to have this baby today, which was shocking because at first they said, okay, the medicine may start working. We're seeing a little blip that it might start working. And then in the next 5 minutes, he's like, book an OR, we're gonna have this baby. So his heart rate was still in the 200s. He was breached, so they did not allow me to have him vaginally. I had to have a C-section. Oh, so that was a stressful day. Mark, again, was in board meetings. He did get out of them. He came to the hospital in his suit and tie and suited up, and we had Bennett at 6 weeks early. He was a big baby for 6 weeks early. He was like 7 pounds, something ounces. And his heart was still going all over the place. So after they got me sewn back up, cleaned up, they wheeled me into the NICU. I got to hold him, and then they took me upstairs to rest, and Mark stayed with Bennett, and they shocked his heart, and it went from being all over the place to just this nice, steady rhythm. So thankfully, Bennett didn't have any heart problems, which is a miracle because his heart was going crazy. They ran every blood test that they could think of. It turns out that Bennett had contracted toxoplasmosis from me. I had contracted toxoplasmosis while pregnant. It was not from changing your cat litter. So those of you that are worried about me changing Luna's cat litter box, believe me, I know everything about toxoplasmosis. I know to avoid it. The boys and Mark are taking care of Luna, making sure her litter box is cleaned out. We are not going to risk that at all, which the doctors say I am 99.9% that I am immune to it at this point, so it wouldn't do anything, but I'm still being careful. It actually came from eating undercooked meat, moose meat. Any animal can contract toxoplasmosis if it has come into contact with a cat that has toxoplasmosis. In Alaska, they have found now that the lynx sometimes carry toxoplasmosis. So it is very likely that this moose that we had came into contact somehow with the feces. Maybe the lynx had pooped in the water or something. We don't know exactly how, but they did test all of our game meat, and that year's moose did come back positive for toxoplasmosis. Now, if you cook your meat fully, it's not a problem. I still eat moose meat to this day, but I always make sure it is extremely cooked, check with a thermometer, make sure it is well done. It was also fresh moose that I eaten. It hadn't been frozen yet. I remember eating an undercooked steak because moose steak can get really dry very fast. And so I remember eating a little bit of an undercooked steak, and that was probably how I got toxoplasmosis. So Bennett had toxoplasmosis, which, if gone undetected, would probably mean that at this point in his life, he would be blind. He probably would not be able to walk. But because they caught it while he was in the NICU, did a spinal tap, made sure that's what he had, he started very heavy medication and was on it for the first year of his life with a, what's it called? A infectious disease doctor. Watched him very carefully, got blood draws every week pretty much of his first year of his life while he was on this medication to make sure it was doing what it was supposed to. So Bennett was not an easy birth like Hunter was. Crazy story. We are so grateful for the doctors. They caught everything they needed to. You see Bennett today and he is a walking miracle. So healthy baby boy now, but it took a year of just making sure that he was okay. So the medication he was on was killing the toxoplasmosis. It is a parasite, so that parasite didn't affect his eyes and his spinal cord. Those are things that it tends to attack. We did take him to an eye specialist. Actually, the eye specialist came to us in the NICU. He already had some lesions in his eyes. So I really feel like God was looking out for us and needed that baby to come 6 weeks early so that it didn't keep happening. Things didn't keep happening because his eyes, where the lesions were, did not affect his vision at all. But if it had been 6 more weeks, we don't know what would have happened. So we're very grateful that it was caught and taken care of. There were lots and lots of miracles along the way within that story. I could talk about it for hours, but we're so grateful that Bennett is a happy and healthy 11-year-old, and I am much more careful about things while I'm pregnant. Next, we have Weston. Weston was a good pregnancy. We waited a couple of years. I think there's a 3-year gap between Bennett and Weston. And he was 2 weeks late. He was our first baby born in the house that we are in currently. And I just remember walking these neighborhoods trying to get him to come out. He was 10 pounds, 13 ounces. VBAC, I was able to have him without having another cesarean. Beautiful baby, my biggest baby, but the boys just loved him. I had 3 little kids at that point, and I just remember just feeling so lucky. 3.5 years later, we got pregnant with Everett, baby boy number 4. We just thought, wow, this is so cool that we get 4 boys. I honestly, up until that point, never felt like, oh, I just would love to have a girl. Now, when I found out I was pregnant with these twins, I had envisioned having twin girls. I never thought it would be reality, but I was really looking forward to maybe having some girls come to the family. But I can honestly say we were extremely excited for 4 boys. We knew boys. We had all the stuff for boys. So Everett came 3.5 years after Weston. We had a family reunion planned with Mark's whole family in Wyoming. And I just remember thinking, I can't go 2 weeks overdue with this baby like I did with my last baby. So luckily I went into labor, right around my due date. Another successful VBAC, went in at the evening, had him the next morning. Once my water gets broken by the doctor, my water has never broken on its own. Once my water breaks, the babies are usually born in the next half hour. Like, it's like the last thing, and then they're ready to come. Very good birth. That was my only birth done by a different doctor. So that was a little bit different, not having my same doctor as the other 3, but good experience. And then we were the parents to 4 boys. So we are looking forward to seeing how this journey goes with babies number 5 and 6. They do have to deliver twins in an OR. So if something happens, a bug, if something happens, they can do a cesarean. As we get closer, I will listen to what the doctors advise, whether we should have a cesarean or we can try and have them naturally. We'll see. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I would like to try and have them just naturally. Well, I say naturally, but with like vaginally probably with an epidural, most likely. There is the risk of the second baby flipping, coming out breech, being in distress after the first one's born. So we'll just have to take it as it comes. So those are quick, not so quick, 4 boys joining our family story. Now, so like I said, I am 15 weeks. I am just now getting to the point where my clothes are starting, some clothes don't fit very well anymore at all. And then other clothes, they just like cut me funny right here, right, in the middle of my bump. It's starting to get a little bit tight. So, options for shopping for clothes in Alaska. I think we still have a maternity store downtown Anchorage. I honestly have not been there to that mall in downtown Anchorage in years. So I was gonna do a search and see if it's still available. I went online. I bought some clothes from Nordstrom's. We don't have Nordstrom's anymore. They had some leggings that came highly recommended, like pregnancy leggings. 2, I ordered some from Old Navy. We do have Old Navy, so I can do returns, but my Old Navy does not have a maternity section. And then I'm just trying to buy just like a little capsule wardrobe. We got 5 months left in this pregnancy. I want to make sure I have things to wear throughout this winter and fall, but I am not gonna, this is probably the last time I will ever use any of that stuff. I did have a bin that I just went through. I had a few things left over from pregnancies past, but I think everything was pretty worn out, so I didn't even keep it because there was like half a bin and the other half of the bin was filled with my pregnancy pillow, which I was very excited to find. I do need that now at night to get comfortable, but so I ordered clothes online just because the shopping options are not great up here. And if you buy enough stuff, it's usually $50, they'll ship it for free. So I should have some clothes by the time that nothing really fits. I did get a little bit behind on laundry this week, and I was like, okay, I pretty much have dresses to wear because everything that still fits and feels comfortable was in the washing machine. And so I did struggle a little bit if I don't stay on top of my laundry, but otherwise I'm still wearing my regular clothes, but looking forward to having some clothes that are a little bit more comfortable. I'm gonna go through a couple bins and then I'll answer a few more questions. Okay, 3 bins down. Next question, will I be able to have everything I need here in Alaska when I have the babies? Yes. So if you live in rural Alaska and I was having twins, I would have to fly into Anchorage to have the twins. They don't have facilities for like NICU and specialists out in the villages. You could probably get all your routine care done, and if you were like really low risk, a lot of people that live in outskirting cities and villages come into Anchorage or Fairbanks or Juneau, bigger cities, to have their babies. Now, there are some exceptions. There are some doctors that are not here in Alaska for further care for babies. I've had friends and family have to fly to Seattle to see certain specialists with things that their babies were born with. Like the surgeries weren't able to be done up here in Alaska. And so that is an option for people that don't have the specialists they need up here. A lot of things we have very few specialists for, so the wait time can be really long. But everything we've ever needed, we've been able to get here in Anchorage, but that's not the case for everybody. In the city of Anchorage, we have 3 hospitals. One is called Providence, one is called Regional, and then we do have the Alaska Native Hospital. I have given birth at Providence Hospital for all 4 babies. Mark was actually born there as well. So that is the plan, to use Providence again, because that is where my doctor is. Okay, I'm gonna go through another bin and then keep answering questions. So I made it through 4 bins. I just discovered there's 2 more bins I couldn't see that were blocked. So I still have 8 bins to go, but I need a break. Leaning over and going through those bins. My back is starting to hurt, so I'm gonna head inside and I'll answer a few more questions while I'm in there. One question that I was asked over and over was, would I have a virtual baby shower? Now, this is not something that I have ever done. I haven't had a baby shower even since Hunter was born, but I have this community of friends all around the world now, so I can understand why people were wanting to be a part of this, and especially since they're baby girls, and it's been 6 years since we've had a baby. I do feel like there are a few things that we will need. Actually, there's probably a lot of things that we need at this point, because after 4 kids, a lot of things were just so trashed. And often we bought those things used to begin with. So things did not last through all the kids. All right, friends, this is future Lauren. I got my act together and I have created a registry so that if you would like to send something, you can. We appreciate that so many of you have reached out and said that you wanted to send these baby girls something. So I did create a registry on Amazon and Target. They're in the description below. If you need some ideas, I know some of you have reached out and wanted to send specific things. Whatever your heart is telling you, we will be grateful for you sending it, but don't feel obligated to send anything. You watching our videos, commenting, cheering us on, praying for us, that is really an amazing way that you are supporting us. Behind me, I have about 8 bins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now that I went through all the boy clothes, got those sorted and donated to the right places, I have bins for girl clothes. I have labeled them for girls' clothes. Everything from a blankets bin to 6-month, 9-month, 12-month, all the way up to 2T. So I am prepared for, as I start buying clothes for the girls or things start arriving, I have a place to put them all. And so I feel like, oh, okay, we're on the right track for getting ready for these girls to come. This has been a good but big job to like phase out of boy clothes and work my mind around having girl clothes, but I am all ready for it now. I'm gonna have these out until the babies are born, and then Mark will take them out to the shed and we'll just bring them in as they need them. So we are going to have a virtual baby shower on November 18th. It's a Saturday where I will be opening any gifts that you guys send for baby showers. So if you start sending them, I will keep a pile, and then I think it would be fun to open them all at once. If things come after that, I'll show them later, but that is the plan for now. I will remind you guys as it gets closer. Hi, handsome.
Remember to send us those blankets that you're making.
Oh yes, we've had some messages that people are making blankets for the babies, so that is very sweet of you guys. We really appreciate it. So I just wanted to jump in here, and I don't remember what I said last week about the baby shower, but I do have that baby registry all put together for all of you that have been asking. So On to the next project, getting ready for these babies. All right, friends, I just got home from the doctor. Oh, Miss Luna's here to say hello. Yes, say hello. Say hello to your friends. So I just got home from my 15-week appointment. I'm like 15 weeks and 4 days right now. And because they are twins, in order to hear their heartbeats, we have to do an ultrasound. So I got to see the babies. Oh, it is really tricky to see them now. They're getting really, really big and they're just like right on top of each other, but they've got big arms and legs and we're just wiggling and kicking the whole time. So it was really, really comforting to see them. Strong heartbeats. Baby A was bouncing on my bladder. So the doctor's like, if you have to pee all the time, this is why. So I have another appointment with the high-risk doctor 2 more days from now. And that will be like a more extensive ultrasound. But man, after that really quick ultrasound today, it's gonna be hard because like baby A was kind of trying to hide behind baby B. So yeah, it just makes things a little bit trickier, but it was so wonderful to see the babies. I will continue to see my regular doctor. The high-risk doctor will just be seeing me more often for ultrasounds. So we will see after Thursday how often I have to go see that doctor, but my regular doctor, I'm still just on a regular schedule as if it was a singleton. It was so nice to see my doctor. She just always puts me at ease. She's so wonderful. While I was in town, I thought, okay, let me go see if I can find any maternity clothes locally. I went to Nordstrom Rack and I didn't find any maternity clothes, but I had wanted some like just nice long sweaters. Okay, you guys, you're probably gonna see at some point my pants, they still fit, but they don't zip they don't button up very comfortably. So if like you happen to see, I have it just like closed with a rubber band. That's just where we're at. I don't have any really comfortable but nicer pants yet. So I just got this nice sweater because most of this pregnancy is going to be through the winter. So this just feels really, really nice and my bump can grow out through that. So I ended up getting it in a couple different colors. Here's my 15.5-week bump. This is a different sweater, but I got it in a tan as well, just to kind of, yep, here we go. So I was excited to find those. There's Ms. Luna back there. And then I know that the twins are not gonna match all the time, but if there's like something special we're going to, from pictures I've seen, I think it will be fun to have them match, at least on occasion. So I could not pass up buying a couple things. These are the first things I bought for the twins. It was hard to pass them up. First we have just this cute little, it's got little flowers on it and it comes with a little headband. Just always blows me away to see ×2. And girl clothes, because I did finish up going through all those boy bins. Oh, that was really nostalgic going through all the boy bins, but now turning around and buying girl clothes just feels crazy. But come on, all these flowers and so cute. And I bought one more. These were so fun. These came with little bows too. Flowers are definitely the theme, but so cute. I got these at Nordstrom Rack. They were all like $9.97 or something like that. I did go through Burlington to see if they had any maternity clothes. I didn't end up buying, they didn't have any. I did look through their baby section and they had some cute stuff too, but I stopped myself. Like, I need to go through what I have first and see what, what comes, what is gifted to us, because I know there are a lot of people excited that we're adding girls to the family. Family members are very excited. Our YouTube community is excited. My friends are excited. So I don't need to buy too much, but I did have to just buy a few things. But these actually look huge. I need to make sure that I have, these are all 3-month outfits. Twins tend to be small, so I need to make sure I have some small outfits, but I usually have 9 to 10 pound babies, so I'm not used to having small babies, so it's just all an adventure. All right, the boys are gonna be home from school in about an hour. I promised to make them some banana muffin cupcake things, so I'm gonna get those done. And I will make sure to keep you updated on my high-risk doctor appointment, just see how that goes in a few days. So that's where we're at. Okay, friends, I went to my 16-week high-risk doctor appointment. It is with like a neonatal specialist. This was my first appointment with him. It was a very long appointment. It was about 2 hours long. The first 45 minutes was an ultrasound by an ultrasound tech. And then I spent about 45 minutes with the doctor. And then there was, you know, the waiting in between. I laid down and took a nap. So it was really great to see the babies 2 times in 1 week. This was a much more extensive ultrasound looking at their size and their heart rates. First of all, the good stuff. They are healthy, they are growing. Baby A is in the 55th percentile, baby B is in the 52nd percentile, and you want them to stay close in size, so that is excellent. They both had great, strong heartbeats. They measured their heads. They were measuring right on at 16 weeks, which is perfect. And baby A is head down and closer to the cervix, so that would be the first one to come out. Baby B is breech, but we still have time for things like that to change. So I will not make any decisions about having a C-section versus a vaginal delivery until we get much closer to the babies. This doctor did tell me he will not let me go past 36 weeks with the type of twins that I have. Now, if the twins had their own placentas, they let them go to 38 weeks. If they are the higher risk ones, they only let them go to 32 weeks. So we're right in the middle, 36 weeks, which knocks 4 weeks off of the timetable. I knew that it would be somewhere between 36 and 38, but he said, no, we do not let you go past 36 because after that, the risks just outweigh the benefits. So we plan on having these babies a little bit earlier than we first thought. The babies are doing really well. I'll show you some pictures. The ultrasound, this is baby A, and then her sister, baby B, and they are opposite directions. This one is baby B saying hello with the little hand there. Oops. And then this is a 3D ultrasound of both babies. This is actually baby A, head down, baby B, head up. And then just one more picture of both of them. So they are both around 5 ounces and like 6 to 7 inches long. So they are getting big in there. I think I have felt them a few times, but nothing really consistent yet. I think I will like it once I can feel them. I know eventually it will get really uncomfortable, but just that reassurance that they're both moving, I think will just calm my mama heart a little bit. But so far, just a few little flutters here and there that I think, oh, maybe that was, especially after she was measuring and like doing the ultrasound, I was like, okay, now I have a better idea of where they are. Then it kind of was connecting the dots like, oh, maybe that has been a movement. So after doing the ultrasound, a few things that the doctor came in and talked about. So they do share a placenta, which we have known. So they are called mono-di twins. Mono meaning one placenta, di meaning they do have their own sacs. And the number one thing he said over and over about these twins is, this type of twins, I do not trust them until they are born. Meaning things can go wrong at any point. 85% of mono-di twins come out just fine. 15% usually have complications, and that comes from them sharing that placenta. The blood vessels will kind of overlap And if you think of it like a highway, if one is giving the other 10 blood vessels and the other one's only giving back 2 blood vessels, then there will be some difference there. One will be getting too much blood, one will be getting not enough. They call it the donor and the recipient. If something like that starts to happen, things can get serious pretty quickly. He did tell us that the procedures to stop that kind of stuff from happening, he has done those procedures, but he does not do them here in Alaska. So, and nobody does. So we would have to go out of state, which was kind of surprising to me. I thought that everything would be able to be done here. If it does come to that, we will have to look into going somewhere else. So prayers appreciated that they will just continue to have enough of their own supply from the placenta and will not share too much of that. That is the worry. The things that they will be looking for to make sure that that is okay is they will be checking amniotic fluid. If one has too much amniotic fluid, the other one doesn't have enough, that can tell us that something is wrong. They will look at their hearts. If one is pumping too hard and one's not enough, that's an indicator. If one just gets really big and the other one starts to deteriorate, that is also another indicator. So those are the things we're gonna be looking out for. I will be seeing this doctor every 2 weeks and then every 1 week. I think after, I can't remember if he said 26 or 30 weeks, then we go every week, because he said sometimes things can be like on a Friday you're fine and then by Monday something's going on. Now, things that I can look for is just fetal movement. And then also if all of a sudden, like, I feel like I got really, like my body changed really quickly, like over the course of a couple days, then that would be like, oh, like it got really big on one side. Maybe that side has more amniotic fluid or things. I need to just be watching for that. It's normal for that to happen over the course of weeks, but not over the course of a couple days. So all this stuff I'm talking about is called twin-to-twin transfusion, which is what can happen with this type of twins that we have. And we're just keeping an eye out. And so he talked for about 45 minutes about all these things, what to look for, what can happen, what the procedures are to take care of it. It was a little bit overwhelming, but to be honest, I still feel very peaceful. I feel like Heavenly Father is going to watch over us. We will pray for these babies that if something does happen, we will have the right help that we need to catch it and to take care of it. We're going to keep a close eye on these babies. So I still see my regular OB, like normal appointments, but I will be seeing this high-risk doctor every 2 weeks, getting in-depth ultrasounds and making sure these babies are growing strong and healthy. And I'm okay with that. It's nice that all the boys are in school so I can go and do these appointments and we can just check in on them, because I don't have to like find babysitters and bring anybody along. I just do it while the boys are in school. Yeah, so the babies are doing really, really well. A lot of information. I don't mean to scare anybody. I don't feel scared. I feel at peace. I feel like we have doctors looking out for us. I feel like I'm doing the best I can to rest and to just let these babies do their thing. They are draining the energy out of me. I take a nap almost every day, at least 5 days a week I take a nap. And that's what I need to do right now. And it's not like a long nap. I'm usually only down for like between falling asleep, like a 30-minute nap and then kind of, 30 minutes to an hour of resting. But anytime I feel like I need to rest, I just rest, unless I have an appointment. This was a very heavy week of appointments. I'm glad that I have a 2-week break before the next set of appointments. Unless something goes wrong, they said, make an appointment anytime you feel like we need to and come in and see us. So he was able to answer all of my questions, and I just am grateful that we have doctors looking out for us that specialize in this kind of stuff. He worked at a clinic in Maryland that specialized in twins and any of these complications that may happen. So he knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's looking for. That's who we want on our team. So we appreciate any prayers and well wishes that you guys have for our twin baby girls. We're really just feel so grateful. So I'm a little past 16 weeks now when I'm filming this. At 18 weeks, I guess, is now going to be our halfway point, because they won't let us go past 36. He really did say that most twin moms go into labor anyways early, just because there's just not enough space in there. Like, it really still boggles my mind. that there's 2 babies in there, and how are they both gonna fit? I have no idea. I feel like honestly, I feel like my body is handling it really well so far. Like my body feels good, I just feel tired. So that's where we are on baby watch for these twin girls. When I was thinking back on telling you guys about my high-risk doctor's appointment, I realized I didn't finish what I was telling you about the placenta. So if you have been following along, our babies are sharing a placenta. They each have their own umbilical cord, the placenta, and then they have a membrane in between them. So they are connected but separated. When I was at the high-risk doctor, they were able to get a better look at the placenta and the umbilical cords. That's what's so good about the high-risk doctors, is they know exactly what they're looking for with these type of babies. And the good news was that your umbilical cords can implant wherever on the placenta that they feel like it. Sometimes they'll even implant on the uterine wall, and then that means just an extra step for nutrients to get to the babies. Thankfully, our umbilical cords are very spread apart. Sometimes if they're really close together, that means that twin-to-twin transfusion can happen a lot easier since they're so close. Ours are very nicely spaced out. So we're hoping that that means that they will not have as many issues. So that was really good to hear. The doctor was very happy to see that their umbilical cords were spaced out on the placenta. One last thing. I have had some concern in videos, people talking about how I sound out of breath. 2 things. One, yes, the babies are taking up a lot of room and that makes me out of breath. But if you've ever tried to film yourself, even if I'm sitting still and I'm trying to get my words out in a coherent manner, I find that sometimes I get out of breath just because I am talking on camera, because it's that added pressure. And I often, even just sitting here still, have to like stop myself, take a deep breath and slow down and remember to breathe. It's not that I'm actually out of breath. It's just that I'm like trying to get things out on camera. So thank you for your concerns. I'm actually feeling amazing, all things considered, but I will sound out of breath, especially if I'm walking around, because the babies do take up a lot of room in that area. They're pushing on my bladder. They're pushing on my lungs. They're just, as we get further along, there's not going to be a lot of room. But even if I'm not pregnant, sometimes you just sound out of breath because you're talking to a camera and there's a lot of pressure to get out your words right. Just like right now, I'm like, you get a little worked up, you get a little excited, you want to make sure you get everything out, and that makes you out of breath. Sometimes it's tricky to be on camera all the time because you notice all the little things that you do, like playing with your hair, or like the way you stick your tongue out weird when you're eating something, or like the weird things you say that might bother people, but you just don't even realize you're saying it. Like sometimes I say, we're pregnant. I know that has bothered some people. I'm really sorry. I know that I am pregnant. We are having a baby. Sometimes I just say, we're pregnant. I know Mark's not pregnant, but you notice those things when you're filming that you don't notice yourself in real life because you have no record of them. But when you're editing and watching yourself back, you're like I talk with my hands. Yes, you notice those things a lot more when you're filming yourself all the time. But it's just part of filming, and I accept myself. I know that I'm just doing my best, and I love you guys for being here. But I just thought I'd explain that a little bit. I know you guys are concerned, but I am resting a ton. I'm feeling good. If I'm not feeling good, I turn the camera off for the day and I spend a day in bed watching movies, editing, responding to comments. I just take it easy. And then usually I have a lot of energy the next day to just do more things. So I show up here on camera a lot when I'm up and energy is good, but just know that I am resting. I'm making sure these babies are good. I'm going to lots of doctor's appointments and keeping a close eye on them. Miss Luna was here, but she disappeared. Luna! Hi, sweet girl. Yeah, we've been taking lots of naps together, haven't we? Luna loves that I'm laying around a lot more than normal. She gets snuggled in. We've had lots of cuddle time. Yes, huh? Okay, a lot of my maternity clothes came in. I don't know, this is gonna be really hard to get on camera, but I got some nice maternity leggings that come up over the belly, which are gonna come in very handy over the next few weeks. This shirt is from Old Navy. It's pretty big. I probably could size down a size, but I could see this coming in really handy when I get bigger. You know, I am having twins. I have a feeling my belly is going to get very big. I grabbed some black slip-on shoes that are really comfy, slip-on shoes. And then this sweater, I think this is gonna be a staple. Just a long duster sweater to be able to wear. So I feel pretty good about like this little outfit here. Getting me through the next couple months. Oh, my battery's gonna die. Okay. It's very soft. You guys know I'm kind of boring when it comes to my clothes. Browns, blacks, and grays. I try and throw color in there, but not always successful. Okay. This is the same sweater, but in a maroon color. I like that. Good for fall and winter. Okay, this is just like a basic long sleeve shirt. It's got a little ruching on the side. I like this one, just basic. I think I could do this one in a couple different colors too. I would just feel good. I'm wearing these high-waisted pants. This is the first pair that I've worn since being pregnant. I've just been wearing my regular sweatpants. It makes me feel really pregnant. Like I was able to kind of hide it with sweatshirts and sweatpants. These clothes, I don't think I can hide it. This one feels really short, like my belly's just gonna get too big for it too fast. And it's weird up here, so this one's a no, but tried something different. This is the same one I've already tried on twice. Oh, my hair. I guess, I think without realizing it, they had it listed in different colors. I ordered it 3 times. It's super soft, like velvety soft. Great staple piece. So we'll see which ones I end up keeping. Always like just a nice white shirt. This is the same style as that buffalo plaid one, so it's actually quite big, but I think that's probably okay. Room to grow. Just another basic Old Navy shirt. More, I'm wearing these leggings. They're very thick and I love them. They have really good tummy support. I also bought them in a pair of green Forest Night. These are called Blanky, B-L-A-N-Q-I. Instagram ad got me on this one. So I'm gonna be happy to have a couple different pairs of leggings to wear. Super comfy. They're actually like fleece and warm. These are never the most flattering, but great for wearing while I'm like editing. This one I am not sure about. It just feels really big. Okay, here's the thing. This is a huge pile of clothes. I've got another 4 to 5 months ahead of me, so I'll probably not keep them all. I don't know what I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna go through them, see what I end up wearing, send back what I don't want to, but it's nice to have some options. Our shopping for maternity clothes is very limited here in Alaska, so I just went on and ordered a bunch so that I could try them on in the comfort of my own home. I'm grateful I have some options. I think they're gonna work for me. I don't think I need to worry anymore about maternity clothes. Thank you so much for being here with me for this update. Thank you so much to everyone cheering us along, sending your prayers for the babies and for me and for a healthy pregnancy. I feel it, I'm grateful for it, and I'm feeling so good. I'm so grateful. We love you guys so very much, and we will see you again real soon for more of This Alaska Life. You want to come say goodbye? Yeah. Want to say goodbye to your friends? Gotta hang this back up. The sweet babies.